Right, so I'm going to give you another update on the Sparky's radio project, and this is the prototype I've built so far. It has its teething troubles, which we're going to iron out eventually. That's what prototypes are for. So I'm going to show you what's inside the box and how I put it together. These are whisker adaptable boxes for electrical work. You can attach pipes to it, connectors, and run your wires through, make a whole electrical installation with these things if you wanted to. So I'm using it for the radio. So drilled the front out, put a speaker in, and so this is what it looks like. This is how I've built it. Just bear with me because I'm having to hold the camera with one hand. The batteries are stuck to the speaker. So there we've got the batteries there. Little 3-cell thing in a unit like that. Wires soldered on. And so this is pretty much all it is. The entire radio feature is here, and underneath the tuning dial is the magic bit of electronics wizardry. It provides AM and FM radios if you want. The 3 resistors there, these things here in the foreground, those are for the indicator lights. And so I had to kind of bodge it in because the speaker is some size. It's a ½ a watt speaker. It doesn't sound like much, but it is quite loud. And it's glued in, and I've had to shove it up into one of the corners because of this wheel. And that magnet there sits about here somewhere, just right close to this wheel. And of course it's spraying off magnetism as well, which is affecting the circuit, and the aerial which runs up round here. You can see it all glued in there. So yeah, it's very tight in there, and it's difficult because the speaker depth, and also in these whisker boxes they have this raised plinth at the bottom, and they give you accessories. You can get like this is a terminal connector strip that you'd plug into the holes you can see in the base, and you'd connect your wires in there. So it's quite restricted for what I want to do, and I was quite happy to find out that they make larger boxes than this, which I'm going to start using, because I wanted to make a stereo version. So it'll be something like that. So let's pop that over there. So we'd have the same kind of setup as that in there with another speaker, and have 2 of them like that. Obviously you're going to drill your fronts, put the controls somewhere convenient on the top or sides, but they're tight to work on. So yeah, anyway, I found that they do bigger sizes. This one is it's like a 8 centimeter square box. What's that reading at? It's something like, with the lid on, it'll be about 40-50 mil. There's a shadow, you can't see it. And so they do the bigger box. More room. So you can see that raised plinth in the middle for putting that terminal strip on. And it's now coming up at, what's that? 92, 93, 9.2 centimeters square with its lid on. It's probably going to be about 50, 55 deep with that lid. So that in place. Somehow I'm trying to do this one-handed. It's not easy. Get in there. Yeah, so eyeballing that to the top of the dome, it's about 65, 6.5. So we've got a lot more room at the end of the day to get a circuit in without having to chop the sides or bodge stuff in. because ideally you'd want to have that little tuning wheel like we have on that one, but it's right at the top here and it's difficult to get to. It needs to be in the middle, but because of the constraints and everything, couldn't get in the middle. But now here's the opportunity. You're going to set up the tuning wheel, bang in the middle of that and get it to stick out further so you get your finger onto it better, which is one of the issues with that one. You can't get to the wheel properly. Of course, you get two boxes and joint them together like we did with that one and make a stereo unit. Have all the radio in one side, the speaker up and away from it, the radio over there, speaker in there with the battery box. Put the aerial on somewhere. I've also got the option, if I use a different kind of radio chip, instead of using one of these kind of setups, this is a variable capacitor type tuning. There's other radio chips you can get that use the same kind of device that you'd use for adjusting the volume, which is what this is, the volume control. It's called a potentiometer. And there's certain chips that allow you to tune like that, and you can get some really small movements and quite accurate. Where this thing, you end up having to, you're fighting to get the signal and you're tweaking like this to get it to lock in. And you're fiddling with the wheel and it's really annoying. Really, these things need to be geared or string driven, and you've got a control somewhere nearby, and you just have to spin a dial like that and the gearing will turn this for you, and slowly and accurately. So I think for the bigger model, I'm going to use a different kind of FM radio chip that allows you to use this type of control for tuning, and it's so much easier to mount because quite literally you could I don't know, have your on-off switch, maybe have your volume on the side here, tune it down the bottom, any configuration you wanted really. There's lots of options with these boxes, they're great. So that's where I'm heading with this project, and I guess in the coming weeks you'll see further developments. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.